Hi there! Welcome back to the space. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully the camera won't try to keep focusing constantly. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to just make a quick video to show you some of the ideas I had. I got the black Limba Stratocaster body, still working on the sanding, but luckily because of the project I'm doing with Kevin, the guy from Play Center, we're building a really amazing Fender licensed part Stratocaster with a Surfer Girl stain that I've got from Wet Tone. Looks amazing. It's going to look amazing. So I ordered this WD Fender licensed neck, and there's a video where I do an unboxing of it, and I think the quality is terrific. I mean, it's fantastic. So I'm impressed with that. And it was serendipitous that I set up this project right when I kind of stumbled into this body to build another guitar for myself. So it was cool that I'm able to see how the maple line, and this is more like for aesthetics, because I'm pretty sure I know what the guitar is going to sound like with the Korina wood. Maple's fairly transparent, you know, I didn't think it was going to add a lot to it, but it's like a feel thing. I typically like to have like rosewood or ebony or, you know, some kind of fretboard besides maple. Aesthetics mainly, but I wanted to try one, and I thought the aesthetics would work better with the Surfer Girl color. On here, I think that it's great that I had it here, because I think here it's kind of proven to me that I think I prefer a darker fretboard for this guitar. So, and by the way, the WD neck fit right into the neck pocket perfectly, so this would be completely usable for this guitar. Okay, so I've got the neck in. And for me, I think that I think it looks great, and this could be a direction that I could go in. I mean, I think the more I have it on here, the more I'm like digging it. And what you could do is you could do black pickguard, or you could do white pickguard, since this is kind of you got the white nut that's prominent on the maple, and everything's kind of blonde through here, and then you'd have a white pickguard and some of this darker stuff to give it some pop and some contrast. Or you could go black pickguard, but so there's that. And the neck that I was thinking of using, that it would be a little different from this, is a Fender neck. There's one on the Stratosphere, because that one, well, for starters, it'd be a Fender neck with the logo and all that kind of stuff, so that might be good if you're ever wanting to change out necks. It would sell better than this one probably would, even though this is Fender licensed. It's not, you know, a proper Fender, so I think the proper Fender has a little more cachet on, and this, as far as sales go, if you need to recoup your money or whatever. But looks wise, I think I like a darker fretboard. I don't mind the maple, and I think this could work. It's just that the two tones, like the tone of the Koa is a little different from the tone of the maple, and they're both light, so it's kind of like a khaki on white thing, you know? I don't know if I totally, or a yellow on khaki, I don't know if I dig that. But I'm okay with it. I think this could be a beautiful look. If somebody had to have a maple fretboard, I think it works. But let me just get on the internet really quickly and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put this down, and this little knife. I really, you know, these WD necks, I'm into these. Sorry, the camera's doing this whole autofocus thing because it's too dark here. I don't have enough lighting to shoot here. I should get my lights. I just left my lights at the little studio, the music space, because, you know, just turn on the camera and go. This is kind of impromptu. Okay, let me get this laptop here and show you what I'm talking about. Ugh. Okay. You stand up. Alright, so here's what I was thinking. I like the Fender maple neck look thing, works perfectly with this. I think that's a good option. But I think I would like to have one that has a darker fretboard. And after I saw the little rosewood movie about how terrible it is to get rosewood, I just don't want to buy anything new right now that's rosewood. That's just my personal trip. I'm not trying to judge anyone else, because I don't think guitars are where most of the abuse has occurred. It was in the furniture industry. That's where rosewood shortages happen or whatever. But, you know, like once you know something's happening, it's hard to look away. I don't know. I hate bumming people out with that. I just want to become aware of it, you know, and help make decisions, you know. So this is Pau Ferro, which is totally suitable. It's very similar. I'm pretty sure that the Squires use Pau Ferro. The main reason I think that is because I see more patterns that I don't typically see in rosewood on some of these Squires. I don't know, they could have been rosewood, and they could be Pau Ferro, or they could be the laurel, Indian laurel. That's another wood that Fender uses on guitars. But I think they all sound really good. I think people just like the aesthetics of rosewood, just like they like the aesthetics of ebony, you know, because it was black. And so whatever. But anyway, I'm leaning towards that, because let's say I decide to upgrade the neck. I could always just pop this off and resell it for probably its money, get my money's worth, because it has the Fender logo on it. It's a proper Fender Stratocaster neck. I didn't put the logo on it, you know, I bought it from Fender. And this is available through the Stratosphere. It's the Fender Stratocaster Strat Replacement Neck Pau Ferro. And it has like a serial number type thing, or model number attached to it. But that's a really good price too, by the way. Really good. That's a possibility. Now, that would be kind of like the very econo, not econo, because we could go cheaper. This would be like the middle ground, you know. This would be like the dependable daily driver that has a nice badge on it, you know. If that's what you want to compare it to. This is like something very solid, something very reliable, and good quality. That's what you would get here. Now, the Rolls Royce, to me, is over here at Warmoth. And specifically, there's one in the showcase, one available right now, that I've got my eyes on, that I'm just falling more and more in love with it, and I think it would be the perfect match for this guitar. And that is the Stratocaster replacement guitar neck, made of black Limba, or what they're calling Korina, because that's what Gibson calls this wood. They call it Korina. That's sort of like their marketing name. And so get this. You get the black Korina neck wood. You get Ziricote fretboard, which I've read really good things about over at the Tonewood data source. I've read really good things about that wood as far as its tonal properties, and it's in no way endangered. So that makes me feel better. So anyway, we've got the black Korina neck wood, which would go perfectly with my guitar. Now you basically have an all Korina guitar, or an all black Limba guitar, with a Ziricote, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, Ziricote fretboard. The nut width is 1 by 11/16. I like that. Comes with the Graphtec White Tusk XL standard nut. I love their products. They're on. I've got it on this guitar, and they're fantastic. They sound great. They work great. Very good quality. The neck profile is standard thin. For a while I thought I wanted a fat neck until I got back on my Schecter. And my Schecter is a chord machine for me, but I'm trying to get more into leads and bending and that kind of thing, and that it's just a real tough for me. It's like a 725 radius. It's probably 9.5, but it feels like 725. And it's really fat neck. And you get that thing where there's certain areas of the fretboard where it's hard for me to get the strings across. So I like this more. You know, I'm starting to realize I'm more of a modern neck guy than I thought I was probably. It's got 22 frets, which makes it modern. Every once in a while I do reach for that extra fret. And really importantly, 6150 frets, which I believe the other neck has as well. That's what's in these, and I love it. Some people don't like it because it's more of a big kind of like steely sound, more metallic sound. But for me, that's what I love. I like that. I mean, I like more mellow sounding guitars too, and that's what you get with the smaller, kind of more vintage fret. But I actually like the bark and the projection that you get from these, and that kind of like upper tone. Okay, so the frets are 6150. The radius is 10 to 16 inch compound, which that's really cool. It kind of makes it like a Charvel or a Jackson, you know, or like some more of these more modern builds, like PRS builds. But I always think of Jackson for some reason, just from the old days. The inlays are cream face. The side dots are just white dots. The tuner ream, you choose the tuner holes. I'll probably do Goto, which is 1132 or 1332. The finish is a clear gloss. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming they didn't want to mess with the finish either, so they just probably coated it in urethane or maybe nitro. I don't know, but it's a clear gloss. And that may be nomenclature for something I don't understand because I don't know a lot about wood and finish yet. I'm obsessively learning right now, but I'm new to it. The scale is 25.5, and that's kind of a must for me. I think the short scale is cool, but I've read that you miss a little bit of that Strat weirdness and that big Strat sound that I love. That's why I want a Strat, you know, because I've already got a Les Paul, and the Flying V kind of does like a midway thing. Standard 4-bolt mounting holes, and the neck is standard thin, similar to modern Fender and American Standard Strat or Tele. Thickness at first fret is 0.8. Thickness at 12th is 0.85. And this standard thin, according to Warmoth, is our most popular neck profile, very similar to modern Fender necks. Its medium C shape will feel comfortable to most players. And I can attest to that. That seems to be like the kind of neck that I feel pretty good playing as an intermediate kind of player that's played for a long time, but not the kind of guy that's known for like being the greatest lead player or anything like that. A guy who really works the neck. So I'm still kind of, these types of necks are suitable for my playing skill, and I think for like most people like this type of neck. So it's like you can go one direction. I could complete the guitar for the cost of this neck, but I think that I'm gonna probably go towards the Warmoth side just because I think it fits the guitar better. You know, you can see the guitar, you know, and then you see this neck here. It just seems like there's a lot of synergy and commonality. I know it will fit tonally. It's the same kind of wood, you know, and there's like some streaks that almost look like they came from the same blank, you know. It's just like, it just seems like it was meant to be. The same way when I saw Toby's body here, I was like, gotta have it. It's gonna be mine. Yes, it will be mine. Okay, and then I love that Ziricote fretboard. If you take a look at it, it almost looks like the Grand Canyons in the first 3 frets. Like it looks like there's like this scenic view of like a canyon. It's incredible. Beautiful stuff. And apparently I learned something. Oh, I should have had this on. Oh, I must have unplugged it. Oh well. Sorry about that. That would have made it a little more illuminated. But anyway, I'm excited about this, and I'll continue to update people because you know, when I'm building these things, I find these videos. I mean, mine might be terrible, but I find that the people doing them seems to be helpful. It just, I don't know, spreads information around and liberates you from thinking you can't do stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I guess I'm going to be sanding. All right, so thanks again, and we'll see you next time. All right.